I think we're gonna start with the leprechaun, and I put everything in baggies so that I stay organized, and then all my small pieces I have in little bowls. So this will be my pot, and this is my little leprechaun. Hi Brian, nice to see you in the chat. Brian is on the design team, and so is Estelle. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring out these pieces. Some of these are for the pot, so I'll put them back in. So let me know what you guys, are you guys crafting along with me? Are you drinking tea, having a snack? What are we doing today? Okay, these are all the leprechaun pieces. And then I have my base here. I cut this from a heavyweight cream cardstock, but I want the leprechaun to be a little less pale. So from the layering panel die set, you can see I cut all of these layering pieces from these dies. With this die, you can also cut windows from the base and turn it into a lantern. I might do that in a future video, but it's really pretty for Christmas cards. So what I'm gonna do first is just layer up these decorative panels. And just because I have an ambitious goal today, I'm going to try to answer questions as I see them. But if I don't get to them, my mom, who is Kiki Lang in the chat, can answer your questions. And shout out to my mom because she designed this pop-up that we're creating today. And this is, believe it or not, one of the most challenging pop-ups that we have come up with. There's a reason there's not round pop-ups on the market. It's extremely difficult to get them to fold flat. So I think this is one of her best pop-ups that she's come up with. And there will definitely be more add-ons. And if you're new to Scrappy Tales, we brought this out for Halloween. So there's several cute Halloween add-ons and several Christmas ones as well. So you can see that these pieces leave a little bit of that base showing through just on the edges. And now that I'm seeing this, I'm missing a square, but hopefully it's in the bag. We'll see. All right. Yes, my mom, I think, was an engineer in her past life. I tell her the vaguest idea of what I want, and something that most people would be like, what are you talking about? And she can somehow always figure out what I am looking for. There's the other square. Okay. And my mom and I today we're working with a new upcoming pop-up for a future release. So we just figured out another one. And sometimes we can get the pop-ups figured out in a couple hours. And other ones like this one take several days to perfect. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm taking scissors and I'm just following the cut line on this triangle piece all the way up to the center. I'm also following the line on this piece to the center, and it's gonna create the world's tiniest wedge. And that's just gonna make it fold a little bit easier. It'll be nice and tight. The manufacturer wasn't able to get that close between two cut lines. But I will say, this die has been modified by my new manufacturer. So if you buy this die new in a couple months, those will be already accounted for. But it's very easy to just follow those two lines and meet them all the way up to that center score line there. It's so exciting to see 20 people in the chat. I was worried no one was gonna come. So I'm just reinforcing these score lines. I'm not gonna glue it together yet because I still have to glue the other panels. I do suggest with all of our pop-ups to use heavyweight cardstock, just because there's not a lot of area for tape and you want to make sure it's nice and sturdy. All right, so, all right. And then for my lucky pot, I went ahead and already did this off camera, but I've used the same layering panels. I cut the base from black and the layering pieces from gray. Okay, so let's do the second piece here. This time I'll go ahead and cut the corners following this line up to the corner and then following this triangle line up to the corner. I'm just gonna do that on all 4 sides. All right. Thank you for joining, Estelle. I know it's late in France. All right, so this did add some time. And instead, if you have a color, you know, in the skin tone you want to use that's heavyweight, you can avoid this step altogether, but I don't have heavyweight in this particular cream color. So I'm just doing this. Oh, I put glue on the wrong side. Oh well, oops. And I'm not sure if my kitties will make an appearance today, but we shall see. That piece is not gonna go there. Yes, Estelle made these into lanterns, pumpkin lanterns, and I think she made at least 8 for that project, and then she made at least 8, no, she made 24 of these pop-ups for an advent calendar, which was stunning. Like, I can't, how much time did that take, Estelle? I'm sure that took several days. Because I'd say one of these, once everything's die cut, I can make them in about 30 minutes. But the die cutting adds quite a bit of time. All right, so I'm of course missing one piece. I feel like that's always how this goes. Oh, but I see it, so that's good. All right, perfect. So then I'll go ahead and reinforce the score lines on these. And if you're having trouble with your score lines, like right here, I didn't glue this on properly, but it's sometimes easier to score upwards and then score down. I don't know why that is. I've just noticed that. I agree. These do take some time, but I tend to, with all of my pop-ups, you guys know with the showcase, my mom and I make tons of samples. We like to make the bases beforehand, just make a bunch of them, and then proceed to decorate them. And that like mass production assembly line style saves a lot of time. And I figured, you know, if you're gonna spend time on a pop-up and you're gonna pull out the supplies and the add-ons that you wanna use, you might as well make a few of them. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and now, actually, okay, I was debating on closing this. So you can get two different styles with this. I'm going to opt to fold these in so that this card is gonna fold flat. If you want it to be a gift box, you would add tape here and kind of join this upper piece and the middle piece together to close it off. And then it's one solid piece. And if you guys want, I can do that example with the lucky pot. But I think this one, this one I'm gonna fold them in so that this card will fold flat. So I'm gonna take some Scotch tape and I'll also just flip these around, add some glue behind these triangle pieces and fold them in. You don't have to do this. You can let them just fold in and have them be loose, but I like to secure them down. I know, I have a black one of these too. I think they're from Amazon. Yeah, here's the little black one I have. And they fit a whole roll. All right, last one here. Just gonna fold that in. And the combination of the tape and the glue is just gonna make sure it really stays down and the tape will be like that instant stick down. All right, then the die creates this slit with those holes. I'm gonna pop the holes out. And this is where you're gonna add your rubber band. So I will show that. But first, I like to assemble the two pieces together. So let me go ahead and tape these pieces down. Thank you all for joining me. I'm hoping we can get each of these cards done in 30 minutes. I have a pretty high goal to achieve for my first live, but I figured I could do it. All right. In worst case, we can stop at the leprechaun and you guys can tell me if you want me to keep going and I'll make the lucky pot if this runs a little bit too long, but I feel like we're making pretty good time here. I did die cut everything off camera if you were just now joining the live. And I am using our new leprechaun add-on and our new lucky pot add-on that coordinates with our A7 pop-up pumpkin. All right, so now let's go ahead and add double-sided tape. And I like to make my pieces extra secure, so I'm gonna use U-line double-sided tape. And I'm gonna do it for both base pieces. Usually I only do it for one, but because I want this to be secure, I think I'm gonna add tape on both base pieces. And I like this tape from U-line I don't know if Mom, you can find this tape because I get so many questions on it. This tape is a heavy strength stick. I don't go for the industrial strength. I go for like the second to highest strength. But this stuff works really, really well. All right. Hi. I see some people joining. Thank you guys for coming. I really am so excited for this. I've never really done a project live before. And in case you're coming maybe from my email or from my Instagram, I do have a new Facebook group where we share Scrappy Tales inspiration, pop-up cards. It's a really fun community. And we're up to around 500 members. So if you want to join, my mom can maybe go ahead and also pull up the link to join the group. I also share like our live schedule. We started a monthly challenge. So I think it's gonna be really fun. All right. Just removing the backing on just one of these. You can do one at a time, but for time purposes, we're going to attempt to do this. On the other piece, I'm just gonna remove the tape on the piece I'm gonna connect. So with these tabs, I'm going to fold it in, and I'll do the same thing on this piece, folding it in. And then I'm going to smush these two pieces together. And actually, see how these don't line up? The holes, one is down here and one is up here. That means I need to flip this around and line up the holes together. That way I can string my rubber band through those slits. So I'm gonna try my best to line up those two holes and glue this together. So that's pretty good. I'll go ahead and secure that. And you can also use glue, and that'll give you more wiggle room. You can see, like, as soon as I touch them together, this tape is so strong, there's no moving it. So on the next one, I am gonna add glue. I got lucky with that one. All right, so here I will go ahead and add glue. And you don't need a lot. It's just gonna allow you to wiggle it around. So I'm taking now, we have this long piece. I'm going to meet the two opposite ends together. And I'm not worrying about these top and bottom tabs. I just wanna focus on these two large ones. And again, line those up. And those slits match pretty well. It doesn't have to be super perfect. All right. All right, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and string the rubber band. So let me find that. So we have rubber bands that coordinate specifically with this pop-up. And in case you wanna go buy your own rubber bands, these are 2 1/4 all the way across, and I go with the thicker band because I don't really know why. I've tested a lot of rubber bands and this one just seems to be the best. So what I'm gonna do is string it through, and then you're gonna kind of hear it click and feel it hit that circle at the bottom. Then you know that that's locked in. Then you can go ahead and stretch the rubber band over to the other slit and pull it down when you have it lined up. All right, there we go. So there is your rubber band, and it's gonna allow this to pop right out of the envelope. So now let's go ahead and close off these top tabs. And I do like double-sided tape is that instant adhesion. If you're having trouble with your pop-ups, it might be because you're using glue and you're not waiting long enough for the glue to fully dry. So that's why I do a combination of both. All right. And inside you can kind of move it back and forth, and then that's gonna adhere it very well. I'm gonna add glue here. Yeah, I think this would be a really cute project to do with kids. Oh, silly me, I forgot to take the backer on this tape off. There we go. And I'm just, again, tucking both of these inwards and lining them up so that they join together. And that's it. That creates the whole base. And then I'm gonna go ahead and flatten it and just really push down on these tabs. Make sure they're nicely adhered. And you can use a score, what's it called? A bone folder, if you like. And then it just pops like so. It's really fun with the rubber band added inside. And these will fit inside an A7 envelope. All right, so now let's go ahead and decorate our little leprechaun. And again, I am copying the picture on the packaging. So there's a little one at the bottom, and then on the back, there's a bigger image. And I cut all of my pieces to match perfectly. You know, this is a completed image, and feel free to copy it, because why not? All right, so I did double cut some of these pieces because you guys know me and I'm an overachiever and I like dimension. So as we go, we're gonna add these layers. Oh, we have someone that has been a supporter since I was on design teams, I'm assuming, before I started making my own stamps and dies. So that's really fun. The Crafty Visage. Visage? All right, so we're gonna add his little beard. Okay. And then, oh, that's cool, yeah. I would say I had my YouTube channel, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years before I started making my own products. And I was on several teams. And I am using all of the dies from that die set. I even cut the little clovers as a bit of embellishment. So I had everything in a bowl here, and hopefully I'm not gonna lose the tiny pieces. We shall see. But I have these fun layering pieces for the hat. And everything has etched lines on it, so it's very easy to know how everything is lined up. Okay, the cute little gold buckle. This is just adorable. I haven't worked with this add-on yet, so this is my first time. I'm gonna check the packaging to see. Okay, it looks like I added a clover, so we'll add a clover to the side of his hat. And we're gonna pop it up because we can. Oh yes, so if you are a Florida viewer, I am going to Stamp Fest this weekend, and I'm also going to be doing a make and take. So hopefully I get to see some of you guys. I'm also traveling a lot this year. I'm going to be going to Virginia, Detroit, and okay, I guess this is in Chicago, or Schaumburg. The make and take is the new A7 pop-up trellis die, but I am making it an A2 card to save time because the make and take is only 15 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna add this hat right to the top. And you can see that the hairline kind of follows the hat. It's kind of like a puzzle, which is cute. Okay. There's even some layering pieces for what I'm assuming, yes, is the hat. I'm gonna do the same thing here. I just cut this from a darker green for a bit of contrast. Oh, the teapot. First video. Oh, it was the teapot. Oh yeah, I remember, I think I drew that teapot. That's pretty cool. All right, so then we got the other side of the hat done up. And this is where I always tell people, like, you don't have to do all these layers. Like, I think that was a little bit of overkill unless you really like to paper piece, which you guys know I do. So let's work on the face. And he has quite a cute face. And I'm just kind of eyeballing this. Again, I'm gonna use the packaging as reference. And I know that he has eyebrows, so I'm gonna put these a little bit lower down. And then we'll also give him his eyebrows. If you guys have this die, what is your favorite add-on for it? That includes Christmas, Halloween, the new Easter add-ons. And I'm layering up these faces. Completely don't have to do this, but just helps it pop. And then I cut his eyebrows from red to match his hair. Now, I'm wishing I have my needle. There it is, okay. I like to use my needle because it has glue on it, so it's easy to pick up. And then you can just kind of twist it to fit whatever you need it to fit on. Cut the base of his eyes from white, and then the color of his eyes from blue. And then we need the pupils. And this is when we start getting to the the nooks and crannies here. This is some small surgery work we're doing. And if you would prefer, if you don't want to cut these small pieces and worry about losing the small pieces, you can always color these eyes with markers or fine liners. All right, so now we're gonna do his nose. The elves and the nutcracker, yeah, those are pretty cute. I think my favorite Christmas is probably the bear and the penguin. Okay, there we go. And then Halloween, I really like the black cat. I have to say this leprechaun is really cute though. All right, so I cut his nose from like a craft paper. I also cut his ears from the same craft. And then all that's left is the mouth and the cheeks. Okay, so I made his mouth black, and then I'll make his little tongue pink. Oh, look how cute that is. I love it. So now all we have left are the cheeks. And it looks like I forgot to layer an eyebrow there. Oops. There's one eyebrow that's higher than the other, I guess. All right, here's the piece that resistance. The adorable cheeks. And this did not take that long to die cut. I would say it was 30 minutes of die cutting because you have to find the colors that you want. But overall, it's not bad. I mean, you spend either time die cutting and paper piecing, or you spend time stamping and coloring. And then all we have is his ears. Oh my gosh. The ears always like just get me. They're so cute. Okay. Let's see. I did double up these ears, and they have score lines on them. So that way you can glue them to the side and have them stick sideways. So I'm going to add glue to that little tab, and then I'm just going to tuck it into his hair. Oh my goodness, that is so cute. Okay. I do get excited because I spend a lot of my job requires me to draw. Like I would say like 75% of my job is drawing, and only 25% of my job is crafting. And I'm a crafter before an illustrator. Like crafting is just my passion. That's why I got into this. So I always get excited when I get to use the products I like slave over when it comes to drawing them. And sometimes when I'm drawing, I can't envision how cute I mean, I can envision it, but like I don't realize how cute it is until I'm actually paper pieced every single part. And that ear's a little too high. I'm just gonna shift that down. Ah, so I think that's it. I have a clover. Oh, no, we have his little pipe. The leprechaun is not complete without his pipe. So, and cut that out from brown. And then I will add the layering detail. Cute. Okay. I don't know if I want to add the other clover or not. Let me see. I could add the clover up there. Yeah, why not? Let's add the clover. All right, that finishes off card 1. We're at 743. Should I move on to the lucky pot? Are you guys willing to stay? I did do a little bit of prep work on this one, so hopefully it won't take quite as long. And Mommy or Muti, do you want to pick the first winner? I think she's just gonna pick a random person in the chat, and then they can pick if they want to get a free leprechaun or a free lucky pot. So the first winner can pick which one, and the second winner will get whatever the first winner didn't want. And we'll pick the second winner at the end of the live. But there's the first card. I think it looks really cute. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the lucky pot so that we can hopefully finish this quicker. It looks like I have some leftovers there. Okay. So this one, do you guys want me to close it to show you that you can put candy? You know what? I've made the decision. I'm gonna do that just so that you can see what else this die can do. So I'll go ahead. I already went ahead and cut the corners of each of these as well. And we're at 35 people in the chat. That's pretty exciting. Thank you guys for joining. I will be posting the replay of this, but I'm also gonna take the footage from this video and add it to an upcoming video where I show all the add-ons for this die. So the only one I was missing were the leprechaun, the St. Patty's Day ones, and then the bunny. And I went ahead and cut the stuff for the bunny today, so I can finish that video tomorrow. Oh, and Sharon's here, yay. Hi Sharon, we have another design team member in the chat. And if you haven't subscribed to Brian or Sharon yet, please do that. They're both great card makers, and Estelle has a blog, but she does most of her work on Instagram. So you can follow her there at A2Scrap. And Estelle does like awesome stuff with Tim Holtz products too. Okay, so this time I'm gonna close this one so that you can add candy inside. So on these triangles, I am adding double-sided tape. Where is my tape? There it is. Hi Sharon, thank you. Yeah, I have a great design team. They're so supportive. And some of the members, like Sharon, they have been around since I first started bringing out products. She's been on my team from the very beginning, so that's exciting. All right, I'll go ahead and close this one up. So I'm going to remove the double-sided tape on this first triangle, add glue just in case I have to wiggle this around, and I'm going to basically just join this middle section to this top section. And because I pre-scored it and like trained the score lines, this should be fairly easy to join together. I do suggest before removing any double-sided tape, go ahead and reinforce all those score lines like I just did, and it'll make it easier to join these triangles together. All right, so I'm gonna do that to the next one. Join these together. And Muti, did you pick the winner? I might have missed it. I'm curious to know if they picked the lucky pot or the leprechaun. I use tape and glue. So tape is like that instant adhesion that I like so that I don't have to wait on anything to dry. And the glue I use in combination just in case I have to like wiggle it around because I'm using very, very strong tape, and the only way that it doesn't stick instantly is if I add a tiny bit of glue. So that's why I use the combination. Thank you. Oh, she got the lucky pot. Awesome. All right, so then at the end of the live, my mom will choose another winner, and that winner will get the leprechaun. Oh my gosh, I have to check that out, Roberta. I haven't been on the craft roulette, like I haven't joined in a while. So I haven't been seeing who's been on lately, but I love that show. It's so creative. I think Mary is quite the hoot. And I think, Sharon, didn't you submit something for Craft Roulette? I think you used a Scrappy Tales product. And if you're just now, or if you came in a little bit late, these gray panels were layered using our pumpkin layering panels. So I cut the base from black and the panels from dark gray. So I'm already kind of going with the color scheme of a pot. Oh. That's so cool. Thank you guys for using my products on Craft Roulette. That's advertisement for me, and that's awesome. I really appreciate that. And I know, Brian, I think you've done a couple submissions for Craft Roulette. Okay, so doing the same thing on this piece, just prepping these two to join together. So because I'm closing this one, I'm not going to be adding a rubber band because this one won't be able to fold flat. So there's no point really in adding it. Thank you, Susan. I wanted to do two because there's so many different ways you can use this die, and I'm only showing you two. You can also turn this into light up lanterns. which is really pretty for the Christmas. But today I'm showing you how to turn it into a gift box and how to turn it into a regular foldable card. All right, so the way you attach these two pieces is the exact same. We're just not going to add the rubber band this time. And I think to save time, I'm going to try to avoid adding tape on these top pieces. It should be okay. All right, so I'm going to make sure that I'm lining up the hole on these two middle tabs so that these two holes will line up together. The weight of the cardstock I'm using is 110 or 100 pounds. So I get most of my cardstock from Michael's, my heavyweight. And then I have heavyweight Nina, which is my all-time favorite cardstock, but it's a little bit more expensive. So I only buy it in white, which is like my most commonly used card base. And also like this natural cream color, which I use for the leprechaun. And then the layering pieces, I typically cut them from lightweight cardstock. That's why I oftentimes double them up so that they're nice and substantial. But you obviously don't have to do that. But I do suggest for any pop-up base to definitely use heavy cardstock if you can. All right, so I'm just folding these inwards again, the exact same way I did for the leprechaun. And then you can go in and kind of twist it back and forth. Make sure that's nicely adhered. Okay, so then we just have to go and attach the top and bottom tabs. This is tighter because it's completely closed. It's a little bit challenging to get the double-sided tape off of these, but we'll make it work. I'm also going to squeeze in some glue. Susan, I do use 110 quite often. I just don't have that many colors in heavyweight. So all of my colored heavyweight cardstock I get from Michael's. I have a couple also from Spellbinders, which I really like, but they're a little bit more pricey. Well, thank you for coming, Roberta. I'll see you in the next live. Okay, so we got the pop-up completed, and this one's closed. I'll go ahead and also close the bottom of this. So the pop-up pumpkin die includes this piece, which is a hexagon with tabs added. I'm gonna go ahead and reinforce those score lines there. And these line up with the bottom of the base. This die is included in the pop-up pumpkin to give you this option, but you can see how it just kind of fits in there. Now this requires a little bit of manhandling. Don't worry. When I first, added this in, I was like, oh, I'm being too rough, but you're not. Again, especially if you're using heavyweight cardstock, Trust me, you'll be fine. It'll get through it on the other side, perfectly fine. All right, so more double-sided tape. I cannot emphasize how much I love double-sided tape. I know it's kind of tedious to add these pieces when you can just quickly add glue, but oftentimes with glue, I'm not patient enough and I'm not getting an instant adhesion like I do with tape. All right, so I'm gonna add the last two. Hi, Angie. Okay, and this time I will remove the backing on this tape on all 6 sides. And I've tried this many ways. I've tried to go like one at a time, adding each tab to the bottom of my base. And I find that I just manhandle it more when I do that. So I like to just try to connect them all in one go. So I'll show you how we do that. So decide what you want to be the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter. So I'll make this the bottom. And there is the middle tab is a little bit shorter than the 2 side tabs. So I'm gonna try to find that on here. And it looks like it's this one. So I'm gonna line up the middle one. And then we're kind of just gonna shove this whole piece in. And this is where you have to be a little bit patient and kind of go one at a time. You're gonna wanna get all the tabs in there. There's usually one sticking out like this one. So you can see I'm lining them all up, and then I gently kind of squeeze the walls to the base. You can also go in with your finger and adhere that all the way around. So that worked out pretty smoothly. Sometimes it doesn't work as easy as this. Sometimes I have to shove pieces in, but that worked out pretty well. So just gonna go around, make sure everything is nicely glued. There we go. So now the bottom is completely closed. So you can add, oops, sorry if that was too loud. You can add candies inside. And dang, this holds a lot of Hershey Kisses. So this thing is pretty heavy. All right, I'm gonna take these out for now, but I think that's like 15 Hershey Kisses right there, so that's exciting. Oh, and I think Desiree is here. I think I saw someone say Desiree. So, hi Desiree. Okay, so now we're gonna do the paper piecing. Now this one is our first add-on that's not a character. This is a pot. So this just goes right in the center, and you can see it already looks like a pot. I'm gonna glue it a little bit lower down because I know my coins are gonna go above, and then above that, I'm gonna add my rainbow. And I'm debating on adding my rainbow to the inside. Yes, we're gonna do that. Okay. So I'm gonna glue the pot, which I cut from black cardstock. That's part of the reason I made these panels dark gray, so that you can see this a little bit better. And then I'm gonna add the tape here, or the glue. I'm gonna glue it, I'm gonna glue it slightly lower down on the base. All right, then let's work on the coins. And again, I have my bowl of small pieces that will paper piece. And here you can see I'm double layering. This is not necessary. This is just something that I really like. And I do take these cards with me to shows. So I just like to ensure that they're pretty hefty because they do a lot of traveling. Okay, there should be a gold. Here we go. So I cut the shadow of the gold coins from gold glitter, and I cut the coins from gold mirror. So it's going to be super shiny and super pretty. All right, so we're going to layer the gold mirror coins to the gold glitter background, and I think that's really cool. I like the tone on tone. You could, to make these like center parts of the coins stand out, you can go with a contrasting color, but I really like the glitter. And just look, like when this piece is completed, look how thick it is. It's almost like a chipboard piece. And I was only able to do that because I did those extra layers. So this is gonna go on top of the pot. I'm just gonna add glue along the bottom of the coins and then also to the top part here. Oh, that's looking cute. Okay. So then we can work on the rainbow. So again, I cut every piece from the gold pot die set. So I am going to add as much detail as I can, but you don't have to add all of this. You can see there's really tiny stars. Oh, there's small, tiny stars. You don't have to add those if you don't want to. You can really add as much or as little detail as you'd like. I do really enjoy this rainbow from the pot set. I think you can use this on other add-ons, like the lamb would be really cute with this rainbow. All right, and I'm sorry guys, I'm kind of simultaneously looking at the chat. I know my mom's answering some questions, but my priority is showing you how to make these cards as quickly as possible because I don't want to take up your entire night. Oh wow, Sharon. Sharon says she made 15 cards with our new Easter collection. So if you haven't yet already, I would go subscribe to Sharon. Her content is awesome. She has great tips. And like I said, Sharon and I have been friends since long before I started making my own products. She was actually the first person I asked to be on my team. She's like one of my best supporters, and she's absolutely incredible. All right, so here's the rainbow, and I'm thinking I want to add that inside. So like on the leprechaun, I didn't add anything on the inside, but I'm thinking it would be cute if I added it to the inside, but then I wouldn't be able to add my Hershey Kisses. So I think what I can do is probably attach the bridge closer to the front, and then the back I can still add Hershey Kisses. We're gonna attempt to do that. I haven't tried that yet. But the die, the A7 pop-up pumpkin die, includes bridges that you can add to the top part. So if you wanted to pop anything inside the pop-up, you can do that using these bridges. And you know what? I think I'm gonna use it as a classic bridge, just going across, because this card doesn't fold flat anyway. So it's not technically a card, it's a pop-up box. So yeah, I think I'll do that. I'm gonna use this as a normal bridge. And if you wanted to use it inside a card that would fold flat, you would go ahead and score all 3 score lines with that center one in the middle. And then you would add 1 bridge, like a triangle, inside there. It's kind of hard to see because it's black, but you would add 1 bridge to this side and then another bridge just like it to the other side. And then that way you can pop up something in the middle. You would glue the rainbow to the bridge. I hope that makes sense. But in this case, I am just going to add a bridge straight across because this card is not going to fold flat anyway. So it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to just do that, and I'm going to glue it about there. So it's still kind of towards the front because I want to add candy in the back side, but you can see it's like further back, the rainbow's further back, which I really like. I think that's kind of cute. So I'm going to add that inside. Okay, and then I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to work on the sentiment. Yes, Angie, I don't know if my mom's coming or not since it's a one-day show, but she'll definitely be at the Orlando show. And my mom will be teaching some classes too. I know some of you guys are excited to meet Mama Scrappy Tails because she is the genius behind our pop-ups. And my grandma from Germany is also going to be attending a few of these shows. So I have just an amazing, supportive family. And my dad, if you guys are fairly new to Scrappy Tails, he also does all the gem mixes, which is a huge undertaking, because he has to individually scoop each bag of sequins. And then my next live, which is scheduled for the 13th, I will be creating a Valentine card with my boyfriend. And he's going to be making me a Valentine card, and he has never made one before. So it should be fairly entertaining. All right, so with word dies, I really like to layer them up because they're so dainty. And this will be the sentiment on my card, so I want it to stand out. I die cut the words twice from heavyweight white cardstock, and then once from this like gold mirror, or this green mirror cardstock. And this sentiment is included in the Lucky Pot add-on. Yes, my grandma is from Germany, and she will be at the make and take tables. Okay, so it looks like I have to poke out the P and the A. With mirror cardstock, I have to be careful not to get any glue on them because you can like see it smudged, so I'm kind of slowing down here to stack these up. Should have one more piece. There we go. Thank you, Brian. I kind of like the leprechaun more, but I know a lot of people really like the rainbow in this set. I feel like rainbows are just always a trend that will never die. Okay, so, oh, and I have the saint for the St. Patrick's Day. Okay, if you are coming in late, this is the little leprechaun that we made earlier. I will have a replay up for this video, and I'm also gonna take footage from this live and fast pace it and combine it with another video that has all the other add-ons included in the video. So if you're coming in late and you didn't get to see the leprechaun, you can catch the replay and also catch that like sped up version video that I'll probably post later this week. So I did smudge up this one a little bit. I guess it's okay. We have to move on. Okay. So now we have the shadow dyes for these words. And I think I am gonna use the shadows because the black is just really dark, although I kind of like it without the shadows. Let me see. What do you guys think? Should we add the shadow to the pot or just use the letters? So it might be too bulky with the shadows, but the text definitely stands out more with the shadow. What are we thinking? No shadow or shadow? Okay, my mom is saying shadow. Ooh. Okay. Angie, I love you, but I think you're outbeat. We'll go with shadow. Okay, well, Estelle says no shadow. I think I'll go with the shadow. I like that it makes the text pop a little more, but I do like it both ways. It was kind of hard. Okay. Okay, it seems like more people are saying shadow. I definitely think it pops a little bit more with the shadow added. But again, you can see how that word just pops off the shadow dye really nicely. I love that extra dimension. I totally think it's worth the extra time. Okay, then we have the saint. Hi, Denise. All right. Okay, it looks like my mom is doing the second drawing, so whoever my mom picks is going to get the leprechaun die that I used for the first card. Drum rolling. The suspense. June Nicamara. Congrats, June. And I plan, with every live, I want to do at least one giveaway. I figured since this is the first live, I wanted to kind of go out with a bang and give out 2 prizes. So Beth and June, if you guys can email me at info@scrappytailscrafts.com, you can send me your address information and we'll get those prizes out to you tomorrow. Thank you all for coming to this live. I really appreciate it. I'm also going to give you guys an exclusive code for these 2 products I'm using. So if you use Lucky, or the code Lucky15, you can get 15% off these 2 specific products that I am using. I think I'll also add the A7 pop-up pumpkin to the 15% code in case you don't have the base. But that's going to apply for the leprechaun and the pot, and I'm going to activate that code at the end of the live. So again, that code is Lucky, all caps, Lucky15, one word. And Mom, if you want to add that code in the chat, that would be awesome. All right, so this is almost done and it's looking so cute. All right, I'm trying to figure out, I definitely want to add some clovers and some stars to the rainbow. It's kind of like the finishing touch. I also think I want to add some coins, some like single coins to the bottom. Thank you guys. Okay, so definitely want to add a coin at the bottom here. And then I think I'm gonna add a clover there. Oh, okay. I guess my mom is doing another raffle. Okay, so we're gonna do one more leprechaun, is what she's saying. And again, if you guys haven't joined our Facebook fan group yet, Mom, if you can leave a link to the Facebook group, I encourage you guys to join because there's a lot of inspiration there. Another raffle, yay. Okay, I'm gonna add this clover over here. And then the die includes these like little star swirls that I think would be cute coming off the coins. There we go. And I'll add a little tiny, tiny gold star to that. Oh no, it didn't let the glue dry. See, this is always my problem with glue. That's why double-sided tape will always be my best friend. So we're gonna try that again, this time with the star added. There, hopefully that stays. Okay, I got another swirl here. And let me see who my mom picked. I don't know if she picked anyone yet. I think she's still drum rolling, but she did add the link to the Facebook group, I believe. Or, okay, she's saying you can find the group at Scrappy Tales Crafters. And if you guys can invite your friends to the group, anyone you know that loves Scrappy Tales, please feel free to invite them. Okay. And then, should I add another coin like up here? You guys can tell me, but I kind of think it's overkill. I kind of just want to add just a clover up here, I'm thinking. Oh my goodness. And maybe a small clover there. Yeah, then we have three clovers. The rule of 3. And I cut these clovers from green glitter cardstock. I love the sparkle on this card. Let me know which one you guys like more, the leprechaun or the pot. I just said I like the leprechaun more, but I think like with all the sparkly cardstock on this one, I kind of like this one more. Okay, I don't know if my mom picked... Oh, we're still drum rolling, guys. We're still drum rolling. Okay, I think I'm gonna add another layer. So I have all these clovers cut. I might as well use them. You like the pot? It seems like most people are liking the pot a little bit more. Hi, Madeline. You can catch the replay. I don't know, I've never done this before, so I don't know when the replay will be up. Because I do kind of want to edit it, maybe. But it will be up at some point. All right, then I'm just gonna add, I think I'm gonna add 3 gold stars, and then I'm gonna call it done. Okay, so those are my completed projects. And I think you can see, because we added that to the front, we can still add our Hershey Kisses inside. Now these are Valentine Hershey Kisses, but I think you would go for green if you can find green. But yeah, those are the 2 projects we made. And I think we did okay on time. It's definitely like, I think achieving 2 pop-ups in about an hour and 20 minutes is pretty good. And these just turned out really cute. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the